Great, so we're starting in child's pose today, and we're going to be here for about 5 minutes. So if you need to do anything to adjust yourself to make yourself more comfortable, maybe a blanket underneath the knees, and sometimes if you don't always reach, your glutes don't always reach your heels, putting a bolster or a pillow or something. And if you want to take a couple moments to look around and make sure you have all the props you need for class, please do. Just extend your arms, sink your hips back, reaching the forehead toward the ground. Finding a nice comfortable position to land in for about 5 minutes. Starting to close your eyes, taking a couple of deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. As you settle into your child's pose and start to notice your breath, really notice how the breath feels entering your nostrils. Notice how it feels starting to travel deeper down into your belly. Begin to cultivate an awareness of how your breath feels, how it's moving through your body this morning. If you find it's a bit easier to let yourself start to deepen your breath by widening your knees to let your belly kind of hang between them, go ahead and do that. Still adjusting, maybe finding a comfortable resting spot. Now starting to deepen the breath in through the nose for 3. Out through the nose for 3. Continuing in this pattern. Each breath in, really pulling the breath down all the way to the roots of your body. And when you breathe out, letting yourself sink a little bit deeper. Turning your attention now solely to the breath. Seeing if you can sip the breath in a little slower, restricting the breath as it comes in to lengthen your breath for 4 counts. And out for 4. Continuing with a deeper breath, noticing if it has any effect on your body, or if you're tensed up in any way, letting those parts of yourself go. Pulling the breath downwards, and then fully pressing all the air out as you exhale. Now taking in a sip of breath even slower, breathing in for 5. And out for 5. And continuing in this way, lengthening the breath even further. Doing this a few more times. And the next breath in, see if you can lengthen it to 6 counts, holding it at the top. And then release for 6. Alternatively, you can breathe in for 5 like we were doing, hold at the top and breathe out for 6. Try and do this yourself on your own time, a few times, really focusing on counting the breath in, retaining at the top, finding softness in the body, and feeling yourself fully release as you breathe out. One more deep breath in through the nose, holding at the top, letting everything go, and breathing out for 6. And then returning to a normal breath, keeping it as long as you possibly can in a natural rhythm. And turning your attention now to your heart space, beginning to create for yourself a happy and warm place within, thinking about something or someone, maybe a place that you love or that makes you feel safe, a place that makes you feel warmth and a happiness. Anything you love. Notice how it starts to make you feel. Notice the feelings in your chest. Deepen your breath if it's become shortened again. Bring into your mind's eye and begin to visualize that thing or person or place. Creating an awareness of what you feel in your body, your skin, if anything is tense. And begin to feel what it would feel like to apply that feeling to yourself, to find that love and safety and comfort in your own heart space. And as we move through class, I'd like you to return to this feeling as we sit still in several of the poses. And then the goal is to find stillness. So as we enter each pose, we'll find a comfortable place to land, and then a stillness in our movement, a steadiness in our breath. And when you can, visualize that feeling of love. Breathing in love. Breathing out, releasing anything you need to release. Maybe blinking the eyes open, wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe moving your hips, swaying them a little bit side to side to wake yourself up. Slowly start to crawl forward or slither onto your forearms and onto your belly. If it feels good to have a blanket under your hips, that's a good option. And clasping your elbows so that they're directly under your shoulders. Head straight, looking straight ahead. Extend the forearms out in front of you, coming into Sphinx. If this is uncomfortable on your lower back, you can always lower it by placing your elbows a little bit further forward. Or if you need a little more, you can straighten your arms, putting your hands at a bit of an angle out, coming into Seal. Whatever feels best for you. Adjusting a bit into the posture. Breathing naturally, slowly. Softening your gaze or closing the eyes. Just relaxing your neck. Raising your chin a bit if you'd like a little extra thyroid massage in the front of your neck, your throat. Deep breath in and deep breath out, releasing the glutes, releasing the lower back muscles, letting the shoulders drop down away from your ears. releasing into the posture. If your mind is wandering at all, return to the breath, taking 3 more deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Slowly start to press up onto your hands and knees, however it feels best to get there. Again, if it feels good to put a blanket under your knees, that's a good option. I'm going to sit back, kneeling, and enter a toe stretch, which can be kind of challenging. We'll be here for a few minutes total, so make sure to find a good spot where you're not really just suffering and wishing for it to be over. It's always nice to have something to kind of lean onto if it's becoming too intense, like blocks, pillow. But wherever you are, prop your toes underneath you, making sure that your toes are evenly folding at the joints. So you might not have all your weight on your front toe. If you just go straight back, all the weight's going to be on your front toe. So kind of let your feet fall outward a little bit to help you get even weight on those toes, pressing back, finding a comfortable spot. If it's okay for you to sit up, go ahead and do so. We can take a couple breaks in between. Breathing in. First, just extend your arms open and then give yourself a big hug. Breathing out. Walking your fingers back, maybe giving yourself a little bit of a shoulder blade massage. Starting to really focus in on the breath as you feel the deep stretch start to kick in, maybe a little bit of fire. Noticing if there's anything, a new sensation or tingling. Easing off if you need to. Breathing in, extending the arms open, this time crossing your opposite arm over. So this time I have my left arm over my right. Coming back to your breath. 3 more deep breaths here before we take a little bit of a break. And of course, if it's more comfortable to rest your hands on blocks, that's totally fine. And releasing down, letting your feet flop out, maybe tapping your feet on the mat, on the floor. Sorry to my downstairs neighbors. It feels so good to kind of get that counter stretch, bring the blood flow back to your toes. But it's great to start our practice with a toe stretch because that's where the meridians that yin yoga is based on many of them start in the feet. And so it really helps to unblock any stagnant energy, helps to open our circulation. Pressing back into your toe stretch. And coming up. This time, if you can, bring your arms into prayer position behind your back, really engaging the abdominal muscles here to lengthen the spine so that you're not arching or slaying your ribs forward. If you can't reach prayer hands behind you, you can simply place the back of your hand and place your other hand in the palm of that hand. Again, really engaging the abdominal muscles to lengthen the spine. Breathing in and breathing out, releasing fully into the stretch. Maybe dipping your torso forward if it feels too intense. I'll be quiet for just a minute. So find whatever position you can to really focus on your breath and not be in excruciating pain, but you should feel some fire. One more deep breath in. And breathing out, release. Tapping the toes again if that feels good. Maybe giving yourself a nice ankle counter stretch if that feels good. Basically kneeling back, pressing back on your hands behind you and feeling some kind of stretch in the ankles. You might need to prop a little blanket or something under your knees so that you can feel that stretch in the ankles. I'm just taking a couple of moments here. It feels comfortable. Otherwise, just sitting on your knees, kneeling with your hands on your knees. Perhaps rocking back, side to side. Releasing the shoulders. One more deep breath in. Breathing out, come forward, back into your hands and knees position. Taking a couple very slow, deep cat-cow stretches. Taking a deep breath in, arching the back, dipping the navel down toward the floor, opening the chest, melting the shoulders back. Feeling everything expand. And then slowly breathing out, carving the stomach upwards and in, arching the back toward the ceiling, and feeling a nice stretch through your entire back. And once again, slowly breathing in, coming into cow, pushing those hips back, and breathing out, carving the stomach in slowly, waking up our spine a little bit. Coming back to neutral, start to shift yourself to a seated position. Coming into butterfly with the soles of our feet touching, knees open. I'm going to take my socks off because I forgot I had them on when we started class. I like to have my hips elevated on the blanket here. It just really helps me open my hips a little bit more comfortably. So do whatever you need to do. Go ahead and get comfortable in butterfly. You might, in this posture in a yin class versus vinyasa, you might walk your feet out a little further because here you want to be able to just hang forward. So once you've found your comfortable placement, rest your palms face up on the floor on either side of your feet, or maybe on your shins if that's more comfortable. And just let your head hang. Coming into whatever position, you can hang freely and your back is free from strain. So you might find that you need more of a stretch in your neck and your lower back can't take it, so your torso may be more upright. If you want a deeper stretch through the lower back, you might want to sink forward a bit. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, relax fully into the posture. And in this posture, I want you to think about how the following mantra makes you feel or meditate on it. I have gratitude for all the things my body does for me. I have gratitude for all the things my body does for me. Always remembering that you can close the eyes if that helps you to come inwards. Returning to the breath whenever you need to. I have gratitude for my body and what it does for me. A couple more deep breaths. Slowly pressing into your hands from wherever you are, start to float the torso all the way up. Now taking your right foot, bringing it in toward you, bending that right knee and extending the left leg straight or with a little bend is absolutely fine. Finding the positioning where you can open your hip the most without any discomfort. You can either stay here if that's enough of a stretch for you, or coming to the side, maybe bringing something to prop your elbow up, leaning toward the side, bending to the left, trying to imagine that your body is between two planes of glass, your torso. So you're really not melting forward or caving forward. That's why I like to use something here to help prop me up so that I don't crunch in. If it feels good to you, you can leave your arm up and overhead, or you can also bring it behind your lower back. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out, releasing fully into the stretch. And in this posture, focusing in on the following mantra and thinking about how it makes you feel. I listen to my body and I care for myself. I listen to my body and I care for myself. Take 3 more deep breaths here. And on your last breath out, slowly press yourself back up, coming through center, coming on to the other side. Half butterfly, right leg extended, folding to the right. Noticing any difference in flexibility, the way your body feels. Reaching the arm up and overhead or bringing it around the back. still contemplating the mantra, I listen to my body and care for myself. Three more deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Slowly pressing yourself all the way up. Opening that left leg. Coming into dragonfly, straddle. You can still be propped up if that feels good. Finding your fullest expression of this posture, knowing that we're going to be here for about 4 minutes. And slowly, if it feels good, walking yourself forward. You might want to rest on something if your forearms don't quite comfortably reach the ground, or if you feel like they can, but it might be too much to hold for that long. And if you need to, you may find that you release deeper into the pose through breathing out and releasing as you hold it. And if you want, you can always remove a prop. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose, letting the head hang if that feels good, or resting the chin in your hands. Thinking to yourself, I send love and light to myself when I need it. I send love and light to myself when I need it. Breathing in love. Breathing out and releasing anything you need to release. Again, every time you breathe in, coming back to that feeling in the beginning of class, that feeling of love for something or someone or someplace. And thinking about it in the context of the mantra. I send love and light to myself when I need it. I'll leave you alone for a few more minutes. Dropping back into your breath if you've lost your focus or find your mind wandering. Every time you breathe out, just letting everything go. Take one more deep breath in, really deepening that breath. And deep breath out. Slowly, ever so slowly, pressing yourself back up, being very gentle on your back and on your hamstrings. Swinging both legs to the right now. Propping yourself up on your side like you're a mermaid. Coming into seal. You can keep your legs a little bent. If that keeps you stable, you don't need them to be all the way straight. Knees maybe bent in front of you a little bit. Torso reclines to the left side. You can either come down all the way onto your elbow or prop yourself up, feeling a nice stretch in your side body. So propping yourself up as far as you need to feel that nice stretch, and maybe bringing a blanket underneath your hip if that helps with any pain. Deep breath in, really focusing on your heart center. Deep breath out, releasing. Continuing to cultivate that sense of warmth and self-love. Take one more deep breath here. And release. Shifting onto your glutes, swinging everything to the other side, coming into side seal on your right. Trying to keep your positioning the same as it was on the other side, but of course, if something's uncomfortable, you can always switch it up. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out, releasing deeper into the posture. And taking a moment to notice if any muscles in your face are tensed up in your shoulders. And on the out breath, releasing everything. More deep breath in. And deep breath out, releasing. Coming onto your feet and preparing to lower down all the way to the floor. We're going to be coming into a bridge position. If you have anything to support yourself, to be in a supported bridge, look around. A pillow or a bolster would work. If you have a block, that's kind of ideal. You can also use your own hands. So I'll just show you the different options. We're going to start heels close to our glutes, knees together, inner thighs engaged so that we can enter the posture with the right alignment. And pressing into the hands and the soles of the feet, lifting the hip bones and the pelvis up toward the ceiling, keeping those inner thighs fired together. And then taking whatever you have to prop yourself up and relax into this posture. If you have a block, making sure that it's kind of in between where your coccyx and your lower back is. You don't want it just on your spine. You don't want it just on your tailbone. There's a spot there where you'll find stability. You can either use a block, or you can also, if you don't have anything that really works, you can use your arms and place your thumbs underneath you and just relax back onto your elbows. It's going to take a minute or so in this posture. It's very beneficial. Try and find the most comfortable place to be. And release the muscles that you can. If you're on your arms, it may be a little hard to release your arm muscles, but if you can, focus on releasing the glutes, the back muscles, the face muscles, the feet muscles. Breathing deeply into the belly. And breathing out deeply, pressing the air out. Taking 5 more deep breaths here. One more deep breath in, breathing out, releasing all of your muscles once more, and then very carefully lowering down one vertebrae at a time. If you were using your arms to prop yourself up, maybe shaking them out a little. Thanking your own body for how supportive it can be when you need it. Now, if you have anything that you can prop under your torso as we come into reclined goddess, that's always very comfortable. A bolster can be nice, or a pillow. But bringing your soles of the feet together, open the knees like the pages of a book, and slowly release into your most comfortable goddess, reclined goddess. You might want to bring something under your knees if you find that your outer hips are getting a little bit sore from being splayed open. Easing into a comfortable place to land for about 5 minutes. Maybe placing your left hand over your heart and your right hand on your stomach. You can also bring your hands palms up on the floor to start if that feels good. Finding the freedom to do whatever feels right in the moment as we move through a few minutes of breath and meditation. Again, like we did in the beginning of class, starting to notice your breath coming into your nostrils, pouring down your windpipe, expanding into the lungs, pulling down into your belly, and then fully releasing. Lengthening the breath. Feeling an awareness of the way your body connects to the ground or the pillow underneath you. Feeling that connection and feeling as though you could melt even deeper into the floor, feeling your shoulders falling open like water could just drip off of them. Returning again to the breath. In for 5. Holding at the top. And out for 6. Repeating this a few more times. Now letting go of the retention, simply breathing in for 5, and breathing out for 5. Maybe even feeling your heartbeat slow a little bit as you slow the breath down. Beginning to visualize filling the space within your chest with light and warmth. Turning back to the visualization of what it is you love. And feeling that love throughout your body. With each breath in, I'd like you to imagine yourself taking that warmth and those feelings of positivity and light and physically wrapping and encircling them around your heart like a blanket, like armor maybe, if that feels more appropriate. With each breath in, you pull a little bit of that happiness and love toward your heart. And with each breath out, the air pushing out of your body helps it wrap around your heart, comforting you. Continuing with this visualization in silence for a few minutes. Deepening your breath if it's shallowed. Breathing in love. Breathing out, releasing everything, relaxing your face, your shoulders, your hips. Maybe wiggling the fingers a little bit, wiggling the toes. Slowly take your hands on either sides of your knees and close them like you're closing up a book. If you have something underneath your torso, slowly removing it. Placing the soles of the feet on the floor in front of you, shifting your hips slightly to the left, crossing the right leg over the left and lifting everything up to 90 degrees. Slowly dip your knees toward the right, gazing to the left. Placing a bolster or a blanket underneath your knees if they can't go all the way to the floor without your left shoulder lifting up. You really want to have your left shoulder secure on the ground, supporting yourself in any way that feels comfortable here. Breathing in deeply, and breathing out, relaxing into the twist. Feeling everything wringing out. Maybe releasing any final emotions stored up in your body. Closing the eyes if that feels good. Basking in the love that you've cultivated in this class. Letting yourself feel at peace. Allow yourself a few more deep breaths here. Slowly bring your head to center. Bring your knees up to center, untwisting. Placing the soles of the feet down on the floor. Shift your hips to the right. Crossing the left foot over, the left leg over the right. Lifting the legs up and dipping the knees to the left this time. Looking to the right. Entering the twist and supporting yourself as needed in this posture to fully release. If you notice yourself tense in any way, take a moment to focus your breath on that place or that tension, releasing on the out breath. Taking a few more deep breaths. Start to deepen the breaths. Seeing if there's any more relaxation you can achieve here. Whether you can melt any further into the floor. And after your last breath out, start to slowly unwind, returning to center. Bringing the soles of your feet into your hands if you can, or otherwise clasping behind your thighs, and coming into happy baby, knees pulled down wide on either side of your body, pulling them towards your armpits. If you want to, you can rock back and forth a little bit, or if it feels good to just find stillness here, please do. Focusing on releasing all tension and melting the shoulders into the floor, making sure they're not popped up. Returning to the breath. One more time, dipping into that, breathing in for 5, holding at the top, and breathing out for 6 pattern. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding at the top, relaxing even deeper into happy baby. And releasing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continuing a few more times. One more. One more deep breath in naturally. And breathing out, release the legs from wherever you're holding them. Maybe with your soles on the feet if it feels good, rocking the knees side to side, giving yourself one last massage. Or if you're ready, going straight into Shavasana. If you're dipping the knees, coming into Shavasana whenever you're ready. Maybe placing a bolster under your knees or thighs so that your lower back has more comfort. If it feels good, placing a blanket over yourself. Taking a moment to call the mind back to the place you were, that place of love, that place you've now cultivated in yourself. Bringing your attention to your heart, feeling it encircled by love. Deep breath in and deep breath out, fully releasing every muscle in your body. Breathing naturally and enjoying this Shavasana. begin to notice what the air feels like touching your skin. Come back to the feeling of the breath entering your nostrils. And invite some warmth and some energy to reawaken in your body. Feeling the fingertips and toes wiggling awake. Deepening the breath. Taking a deep breath in, reaching the arms up and overhead, stretching them in opposition with your legs. And breathing out, relaxing, rolling onto your left side to take a few more breaths here. Preparing to move on with the rest of your day. Transitioning from this place on your mat to your life in the world. And deep breath, pressing into the floor, coming into a seated position with your eyes still closed. Bringing your left hand to cover your heart, your right hand over your left hand, chin dipped. Focusing in one more time on the light within, on what that love feels like. And knowing that if you ever need it, it's right here for yourself or to share. I hope you found this practice supportive. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.